I think the term is misunderstood, the crabs in the bucket mentality.
The crabs in the bucket mentality is something that I heard growing up all the time, where, we have to pull other people down in order to rise to the top.
If you take something that's free in the water and you put it in a bucket, human instinct or crab instinct is gonna tell them to get out the bucket, no matter who's trying to climb out.
When our ancestors, after walking for several miles, over 300 miles, got to this point, they were in numbers. So many of them had to be changed to a tree called the silk cotton tree. And its nature was that it has thorns all the way to the top, all around it. So those who were not allowed to go to the river were chained to the silk cotton tree. In case somebody is in the movement or is in the procedure of escaping, that person had to pull a chain, and that chain is attached to somebody else. So immediately you pull the chain, you pull your friend or your brother to the tree, and the thorns pierce the person, and that person is forced to make noise. And as a loving and caring brother or sister, you will let go of the chain for your brother to feel safe.
I was even scared of the police there, which was an interesting thing. And we were in a foreign country, so for us, engaging with the police is a scary thing. We were taught as kids, don't make eye contact, don't talk back. We would not look, we would hold each other's hands. And my traveling companions who were from Ghana, they were like, why are you so scared? And for them to talk us out of it, and the police officers were joking with us, and they were like, you gotta teach them the language. They were telling our partners that we gotta teach us the language so we understand and can communicate. And it was sort of relieving to know that the systems we expect don't necessarily exist in the same way they exist there.
It's easy to divide us because of money, because we never had it. We came here poor and we remain poor. So when we gain wealth, we don't want to lose it. And if that means turning your back on your brother, then that's what we're going to do.
This goes back. We were taught at an earlier time not to trust each other.
I think for a long time I thought that I was in competition with other people around me. The kind of scarcity mindset, we're all kind of vying for the same space.
We're afraid that if I give you information, you're going to beat me to the finish line. So I'll hold that for myself.
There is an urgency to be able to acquire and to do well.
Driving the fanciest cars, having the nicest houses.
What I find is that a lot of minority constituents, they just don't know how to properly move inside the system.
For BIPOC people, we talk about first generation. They're the first person in their families to get an undergraduate degree. They're the first person in their family to get a master's degree, and so on. You need to talk to someone before you make choices about schools and about degrees and programs. Also help you navigate to really tap into what you really want to do. And that's part of our ancestry. It's like we had guides, we had people, our elders.
When you talk about privilege within the Black community, it's that ability to be able to code switch, be able to go into different arenas and be able to pass even if we could, or be even accepted where the white dominant culture is not uncomfortable with us. And so that was a challenge. And even though most people thought that was a good thing for us, it was actually a challenge because we didn't even feel accepted by our own community.
You have an old guard of people who don't want to fight physically, right? But now you have people willing to fight physically, and we are freer to gain control of things that we couldn't gain control of before. My role has been to show the good in the community, to show that, hey, we have people who own businesses, this is their business, you should frequent their business to make sure that their business is successful. Because as Black people being the #1 consumers in the world, we're at the bottom when it comes to running successful businesses, because the crab in the bucket mentality is that, hey, my brother has a business, but I don't want him to be successful, so I'm not gonna go there.
We don't trust each other as African American people. That needs to stop.
They may never understand diversity, but what they do understand is dollar signs, and that the more diverse your thinking and your business, the more people that'll walk in the front door and buy your stuff.
We have to realize that no matter how much people try to say there has not been systematic oppression, we can't sit here and fight that. I'm not here to fight that argument. I don't care, because I know my reality. I know the stuff that I've been through, and all I can really care about is the solution and how to get the people around me that want to find these solutions, how to get us into a better place so that we could be those leaders.
Having initiatives and organizations really led by Black leaders just generates an environment for Black people and Black communities to be served in the ways that they deserve. For example, we are an organization that funds other Black organizations. So at the collective, our entire structure is set up to combat some of the same issues that are present in organizations that may not have Black leaders at the helm. Because we want to foster an environment where Black leaders and Black organizations are able to advance their missions and be able to receive the kind of funding that they deserve. And we see it as really important to establish some of the guardrails so that our organizations feel like they have the chance to show up authentically, right, with us, because we are not going to pull the rug out from underneath them at any moment.
You have so much talent individually, but what we're able to do together is far beyond the horizon of what we could even imagine, right?
One of the things that's really important to help the Black community recover from the trauma we have experienced is to give us and help us achieve economic freedom and the ability to make choices to empower ourselves without being reliant.